News with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, speaking of all those crazy Trump tweets, President Donald Trump called wearing a mask patriotic in a tweet Monday. We have a picture. We posted a photo of himself wearing one, a basic precaution. Health experts, of course, have been urging Americans to take in the U.S. for a while now. Trump tweeted a black and white photo of him in a mask saying, "There is nobody more patriotic than me, your favorite president." So remember, he held a rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma last month where basically nobody was in a mask. But Trump says he's all for masks, even though he does not plan to issue a national mask mandate, according to Forbes. Trump seemed to, for a long time, want to avoid being seen publicly in a mask. He said, "I'm not going to give the press, that kind of field day." But he is wearing one now. He wore it for the visit to the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. So maybe getting a few more people on board.
He should wear an Uncle Sam outfit. He should just switch.
Yes.
Just start right now.
Just dive in.
I don't think it would lose him a vote. I'm not sure if it would get him a vote. But if he just started dressing like Uncle Sam, he should just fucking dive in right now and do that. I would. I would like that. Yes,
I think you're right. And you know what? You could do a bundle. You could do the MAGA hat. And I can't believe they didn't think of this before. A face mask where it's Donald Trump's like mouth and nose. Have you seen those? You can do like smiles.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Cat mouths
I want
or whatever.
Rob Lowe, but yeah. Well, he could do Uncle Sam's beard, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right? He should do that. I'm just fixing to get on a plane and go to Texas, so I'm going to have my mask. How often are you supposed to cycle those masks? I got the disposable ones. Every time.
Do you have like the blue paper?
I got like the blue papery one. It's been on my car seat since this thing started, I think.
Actually, that's okay because if it's sitting outside, the sun probably helps if it's sitting on your car seat.
Yeah, well, it's going to. The greatest disinfectant, sunlight, is now hitting my mask. So I'm going to go test the mask out on a flight too. And by the way, it's so weird. I'm flying to Wisconsin. I got like a Snap-on tool thing to do over there, and then I'm going to Chicago. Then I'm going to Texas. We're going to do some live shows there, but. I got a first-class ticket to Wisconsin. Well, it's to Chicago, and then you drive to Wisconsin on, like, United. And I said to Matt D'Andrea, who's going with me, I said, what's first class like these days? And what are we to do with first class? Like, what I used to be, they'd roll out a big cart with champagne and have an ice cream sundae, and, first class was first class. Yeah, now it's like, but I told you, everyone's looking for an excuse to cut back in the name of safety. So he was able to figure out whether they provide a snack, but it's unclear what that is. And then I'm like, drinks. Do they have drinks? It's a 4-hour flight. It's first class. We're flying at night. It's like, they don't know. Like he literally called the airline and he said, "Do you have drinks in first class?" And they're like, "Yeah, we don't know." I thought, okay,
depends.
Yeah,
quite an answer.
You're right. So either way, but I don't know. I feel like in first class we should have drinks, right? Or just I don't know how.
That's why you sit there.
That's why you sit
only like
there.
8 people.
All right. Anyway.
So a little more Kanye news, and this is, like you said, somewhere between no shit and no duh. TMZ reports that Kanye West has turned on his family in the midst of what they're told is a bipolar episode. The Gossip Blog says that West accused Kim Kardashian of trying to commit him to a mental hospital. In a series of tweets Monday, and I did try to get them, but I believe that they've been deleted. Kanye revealed his wife's plan to get him help just 24 hours after that bizarre, at times incoherent campaign rally in South Carolina. He said, quote, Kim was trying to fly to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up like on the movie Get Out because I cried about saving my daughter's life yesterday. He then tweeted out a series of what he calls future fonts. We do have
By
those.
the way, saving your daughter's life when she falls out of a Zodiac boat into a raging river is one thing. Saving your daughter's life by not paying for an abortion is not quite the same thing that heroes are made of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did that happen and Get Out? Did someone fly to Wisconsin to get someone?
No, he's just talking. I'm going to interpret for Kanye West, which is not something I make a habit of, but just being sort of locked in a society where people won't let you be yourself, or you're sort of a hostage to another person's family.
Okay.
I'm not a great parent, but even I wouldn't pontificate over the coin toss of aborting my kids. You know what I mean? Just because it's out there now.
That's between you and your wife.
I don't think Kim was super happy about it.
It's on the internet now. You know what I mean? Yeah. At some point, however old your kid is now, they shall be able to understand that was a decision that was being made. And
batted around.
Yeah, just bandied about a little bit.
Yeah.
But, look, and I fucking mean this. I've said when people say to me, key to a good marriage or a long marriage, and I say 2 TiVos and a lot of square footage, I fucking mean it. There's no doubt. Kim and Kanye, I mean, the over-under on those two had to be 11 months. If they were living in 1,200 square feet worth of apartment in Van Nuys, one of them would be dead by now, right? At the other's hands. I mean, it's the fact that they live in these kind of estates. The fact that they live in, there's 22,000 square feet of dwelling. I mean, he wouldn't even, when you're at home and you don't even know if your partner's at home or not, the rush for the divorce, it takes a little the pressure off the divorce, the necessity.
Like I theorize, how often are they even under the same roof?
Well, if the roof covers 22,000 square feet of home, then who knows?
It doesn't matter, yeah.
I mean,
plus having multiple houses.
I have a biggish house, and, I'll come home and I'll be like in my office and I'll be like, is Lynette and Sonny, are they in the theater? Like watching, like, where are they? Either way, when you hear them, and I have lived in probably 600 square foot in Hollywood with a girlfriend and a loft, not even a loft, a studio apartment. Everything is so annoying so quickly. Every time someone cooks something, you can smell it while you're laying on your futon. Everything is right in your grill. I think there are multiple residents mixed with tons of travel for work, mixed with tons of square footage, has kept these two lovebirds going as long as they have.
2.5 years. No, it's a little longer than that. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. There's definitely. I know that my parents would probably still be married today if they lived in Calabasas in one of the Kardashian houses. They wouldn't be happy, but they wouldn't have. When you're living in 900 square feet, you got to shit or get off the pot, especially when there's only one pot.
Yep.
So I don't know if you've seen or heard about this new drone, but researchers have developed a new coronavirus-era drone that can disinfect an entire sports stadium within hours, according to Fox News. It's the Aris Fog Company, and they said that the machine utilizes electrostatic technology to sanitize large areas by discharging cleaner through its nozzles, which attach to both ground surfaces and underneath seats and other surfaces like railings.
It's a crop duster.
Basically, yes. Yeah. It can spray up to 20 acres per hour. And they say the drone could be used indoors, outdoors, and can clean any area safely. And it will be disinfected 3 minutes after it's sprayed. The company recently tested the drone on Pittsburgh's Highmark Stadium and expects to have all the required certifications by fall.
So it has a hopper that has X amount of liquid material in it.
Yeah.
It's probably one of those 4-bladed ones.
Yes.
With
I would imagine so.
got the big lifting capacity. And, it's funny. I wasn't talking to you guys about it, but I was talking to Bjorn Lomborg about it, which is battery technology enables this stuff. I used to fly an electric model plane. I won't bore you with all the details, but 15, 20 years ago, the battery pack for that thing was a brick. I mean, it was a brick. It was.
Well, think about the VHS, the video recorders you have to carry around.
Right.
With certain size for a tape, but a fucking huge battery.
The battery was essentially 6 or 7, maybe even 8 C-cell batteries daisy-chained and shrink-wrapped. So if you can picture the heft of 8 C-cell batteries shrink-wrapped, that's what the batteries. Now, all the planes are electric. All the model planes are electric because they figured the batteries out. They're much smaller. When I first used electric tools, battery-operated power tools, all they had was a drill. They didn't have saws. They didn't have routers. They didn't have all the stuff you have now because they just didn't have the batteries for it. These drones are now all made possible because of this crazy battery technology, and we're getting it with cars as well. So it goes up, and it does that. And this is great until Al-Qaeda gets a hold of it and fills it with mustard gas, and we go full Black Sunday where they fucking fly it over. Oh, yeah.
Pittsburgh. Wasn't that Pittsburgh?
It was a Coliseum, I think, on Black Sunday. Well, we'll look it up. They were playing the Steelers maybe in the Super Bowl. I think it was the Super Bowl. I think it may have been Dallas. And Gina's too young. She doesn't know the fuck we're talking about. But the Dallas Cowboys, I think they were using actual footage from the Dallas Cowboys playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But it was the L.A. Coliseum. And then some madman had like hijacked the Goodyear blimp. And they were going to attack the Coliseum with the blimp. I don't know. What do you got, Max Ben, on it?
The Miami Orange Bowl.
Oh, Miami Orange Bowl. Shit.
But it was Super Bowl 10. It was Pittsburgh and I believe Dallas.
Yes. And what's the plot line? They had the Robert Shaw was in it. They got the Goodyear blimp. I'm just telling you, everybody, all this technology, it's awesome, but it's really like. It's like a handgun. It's like in the hands of a gangbanger, bad times. In the hands of a good cop, good times.
Chris,
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you were done with your pause. Go ahead.
I'll keep going. This with a hopper full of disinfectant, good. Hopper full of sarin gas, taking out the whole fucking stadium. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking at the poster for Black Sunday, what I assume is the original poster. It's the Goodyear blimp knocking over a huge bank of lights in the Orange Bowl. The tagline says, Black Sunday, tagline, it could be tomorrow. That only applies if it's Saturday.
That's true. That's true.
There's only one day a week that works.
Also,
tomorrow cannot be Black Sunday.
It's also one of those fucking things they used to do on 70s movie posters all the time, which I believe should be illegal, which is put on the poster shit that never happens in the movie. Like they commandeered the Goodyear blimp and they flew it into the stadium, and they're like, oh, but they never knocked over the lighting or anything. They're just all right anyway.
The people in the crowd seem very calm for the Goodyear blimp being on top of them.
They don't see it yet.
Yeah, they're watching the play on the field. Anyway, this is going to turn into Black Sunday. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Yep.
So with football season just around the corner at this point, the NFL and Players Union have agreed on a daily COVID-19 testing protocol so that training camps can begin. In a league-wide memo obtained by CNN, the NFL outlines the screening and testing guidelines now in place. Coronavirus testing will begin at the start of training camps and last for 2 weeks. Results from those weeks will dictate if they're going to switch it to every other day, which I think they would rather do, but the players want it every day. Also,
wait a minute. I think I got a new rich man, poor man tested repeatedly for coronavirus. You either work at a slaughterhouse for Hormel and like Arleta where they've had a big breakout, or you're a baller in the NBA or the NFL, right? The regular, the middle class guy gets tested once or twice, but it's not like not like when you're working at the meat packing place and they've fucking been decimated by it, right?
That's right.
Rich
I think
man,
you're
poor
right.
man.
They also offered the Players Union the opportunity to skip all preseason games, according to a source familiar with negotiations. So, everything looking a little different, but we'll see. The players are like, my wife is pregnant, or, it's not just them. There's really throwing the old wife excuse around. I think a lot of these guys.
I think some of these guys are really piling on it. Like my wife and then 3 bitches I'm banging. They're all pregnant. That's right. Okay.
How am I supposed to keep them safe?
That's right. Sorry.
So Gavin Newsom, the governor here in California, said Monday that hair salons and barbershops could offer services outside now. The announcement provides relief to these salons that closed in March under the stay-at-home orders. They were allowed to reopen for the hottest of hot seconds and then closed again during the new shutdown orders. The new guidance says outdoor services are permitted if patrons and stylists wear masks, meet other safety requirements. The allowed outdoor services include skincare, cosmetology, nails, massage, outdoor massage. Electrology, tattooing, and piercing are not allowed.
This by the way,
outdoors.
This could have saved Bob Kraft a lot of trouble. If he'd just moved that shit outside, we wouldn't even be talking about him right now. You know what I mean?
Bob who?
That's right.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Yeah. The barber, I've been into a couple of these places. They have the chairs, they're 6 feet apart. Everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone is spread out. I don't know. I get the indoor crowds, the bars, the honky tonks or something, but the way they did when I went to Super Cuts or Fantastic Cuts or Sports Clip Cuts or wherever the hell I did, it was like everything was spread out. It didn't seem like the indoor and the outdoor would have been that impactful. Yes, Brian.
I don't purport to know the science, but the word is that indoors is more dangerous than outdoors. Fine, we can agree on that. I also aerosolizing is a big thing now. Like if you're using the hairdryer or the whatever, getting it into the air is apparently a big thing. That's why I go to physical therapy twice a week. I'm doing exercises and stuff. I'm wearing a mask as required by the clinic. The physician is wearing a mask. Like everyone has to wear a mask. Because you're exhaling, you're breathing.
Are you indoor? Are they doing it indoors?
Yep. Yeah, it's a medical facility, so they take your temperature when you come in and they disinfect everything.
I think they could do that with the hair and whatever. But look, somebody
not on a breezy day.
But here's the
fucked up cut.
Also, again, nothing's free, so there's going to be a weird story years from now where it's like, well, what happened to your mom? Killed by a drunk driver. Oh, really? Where was she? She was getting her hair cut. But
wait, what?
Well,
she was getting killed by a drunk driver. Guy was
Did the driver drive inside of an establishment?
No. He was in the parking lot of a Gelson's. They have a couple. There's a real estate place there too.
I promise, I'm trying to follow you.
Yeah. Oh no, she was getting a bob. Or maybe she's getting her roots dyed. Anyway, I shouldn't even say dyed. It brings up too many bad memories. But I think the Korean nail lady may have been in a coma as well. She didn't escape unharmed.
Did the driver drive through a mall?
Hard to talk about. No, I know. You're thinking Blues Brothers. No, this guy just had one too many after work. He was a union drywaller, and that's how Mom died. She's getting her hair cut.
Sorry for your loss.
So, I'm just saying, if you got kids out there, before they get their hair cut, hug them. You give them a hug.
Yeah. Check their underwear.
You hug them. That's right. Sorry.
So here's a different take on the wear a mask or get out of our establishment. A restaurant in Northern California says they won't serve any customers who are wearing a mask. This is according to multiple posts and reviews on Yelp and social media. Social media users posted photos of a sign currently posted outside the Apple Bistro that said no social conditioning, no oxygen deprivation mask, no latex dirty germ spreader. Not required here. This may not be for you.
I'm sure Applebee's is over the moon that the place called Apple Bistro has gone full fucking commando with this shit.
Yeah, they're in El Dorado County.
They're in Placerville, and apologies to our Placerville listeners, although we don't have any because people in Placerville can't figure out how to work an iPhone.
Oh, wow.
First off, how dare you, Brian, I shall inform you that the Ringwald family hails from Placerville, California.
Really?
And I do believe had at least relocated back to Placerville at some point in their career.
I'm actually completely joking. Placerville is a lovely town, I know, because my grandparents lived in Lake Tahoe. They retired there my entire youth, and I would take many trips by car back and forth from the Bay Area to Lake Tahoe. And Placerville was our stop because one of the things that made me a fat kid, there was a place. What was it called? Doesn't matter. They had the best cinnamon rolls. I was a little kid. I would down one the size of my head. They were amazing.
Is this kind of a Springfield
Sweetie
versus
pies.
Shelby?
Sweetie pies. Are they still
pies.
around?
Were they your
Sweetie Pie's
Shelbyville?
still around, and did the Ringwalds hail from Placerville? I'm almost positive they came from Placerville out to North Hollywood. Certainly.
Wow.
Yeah, up the street. Sorry. And are they
Well, this
back?
place
Is Bob back in Placerville? I think he may be.
You might be thinking of Roseville.
No.
That's near there.
Oh, they were from Placerville. Or maybe they just,
she was born in Roseville. Molly at least was.
Oh, maybe the hospital in Roseville or something. If you lived in Placerville, would that work that way?
Sweetie Pies is open. People of Placerville, you obviously know, but in the surrounding areas, get yourself a cinnamon roll. Those are delightful. Oh, Fat Brian wants them. Look at that.
Oh, man. Pecan. Pecan.
And imagine
Come on.
how big that is.
Oh, so good.
I mean, Bob has been known to play the Placerville Festival, the Ragtime Festival. So,
Nah.
There's a connection there.
I'm going to say, yeah. Well, I don't know. They always said they're from Placerville, but I guess that's where.
Yeah, Bob lives in Placerville now. So
okay, well, it's my story.
That's a strong case.
I'm holding
this
together.
article says Bob is blind and now lives in Placerville near Roseville, where he and his wife Adele raised Molly and her two siblings.
Oh, well, maybe they said Placerville like you'd pick the bigger town that someone from North Hollywood may have heard of.
Sure.
Like people would, yeah.
I guess so, but I didn't know where either one was, and I called it Plasterville, but that's me.
Yeah,
You're a builder through and through.
Though.
Well, listen, when you move to North Hollywood trying to start a new life, you come from a shithole, believe you me.
Yes, the math checks out.
I'll tell you, man, Adele Ringwald, the mom, speaking of sticky buns, that chick baked her ass off, man. She was a big-time baker. And I loved going over their house because she loved it. You know, the people that bake, the people they live with most of the time don't appreciate what they do. But the outsiders, like when I 15 and I showed up at that house and she pulled a big strudel out of the oven, I was like, oh, this is good. And she was like, she loved it. She loved to watch me just enjoy the shit out of her baking. Yeah, Adele. Good old Adele.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Molly and Beth's mom.
Well, authorities have taken a Michigan woman into custody after she allegedly made a scene inside of a pizza place. So according to the reports, after being asked to wear a mask, the suspect flipped off the employees and then attempted to leave. At that point, she reportedly ran over a police officer's foot with her pickup truck. The suspect allegedly became upset after one of the restaurant workers asked her to put on the mask, and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer issued a mandate on July 10th that requires residents to wear a mask in these indoor places. Allegedly responded to the face mask request by sticking her hands underneath the plexiglass barrier, flipping off the employees, and she also kicked another customer that attempted to intervene. So ladies are
shit kicking
for themselves.
Yeah, she looks it. I got to tell you, the look that a lot of women are adopting with the little stud that's kind of above the lip on one side, making their face a little asymmetrical, the little stud in the nose. I don't get it. I look at that and it looks like a piece of broccoli on your front tooth when we're eating dinner. Like I want to flip it off.
Yeah, it's like a derma piercing, where Cindy Crawford's mole would be.
Yeah, I was going to say, on Cindy Crawford looks great. On Chrissy Teigen look great. On other people,
Well, the whole thing, if a seagull shit on Cindy Crawford's forehead, you'd go, yeah, it works for her. It looks good on Cindy. I don't recommend the seagull shit for others, but for Cindy, it works. All right, let's do one more, Gina Grad.
All right. Well, you're going to have to say goodbye to some of your favorite things over at Trader Joe's, or at least the name of some of your favorite things at Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of product names like Trader Jose's, Arabian Joe's, Trader Giotto's,
Trader Ming.
Yep. That
I am
critics,
so
yeah.
thick that I was staring at that taco box for 20 minutes going, what's wrong with the thing? It says, I was just reading it as Trader Joe's tacos. I had to look at it and go, oh, Trader Jose's tacos?
Jose.
Yeah.
And the Trader Giotto's pizza.
But what?
In their
Yeah.
In their defense, which is a pretty flimsy defense, they do it across many product lines, like Gina was saying, like Trader Giotto's for like their olive oil or stuff. Like they do it for all ethnic foods. It was probably a cute little gimmick at the time, but you can't do that now.
They even have Joe-san for some of their Japanese stuff.
For the Jewish, for the bagels, it's Trader Josef. It is.
Why do we have to sterilize society to the point where it's kind of not interesting anymore? Like, can't we let companies kind of, I don't know, wink and nod and have some fun? I agree. If it's across the board, if it's just for Italian and Jewish and Hispanic, what is that?
The company said, it was just a light, kind of fun thing we were doing. But guess the age. And if you want location for bonus points of the person who is spearheading this campaign, because this is exoticizing other cultures.
I'm going with
Recuse yourself.
All right. Well, then I'm going with Adele Ringwald, Placerville, California, age 79.
Couldn't be farther.
What?
A 17-year-old from the Bay Area who's been declared as a rising high school senior and human rights activist.
Oh.
The petition says the Trader Joe's branding is racist because it exoticizes other cultures. It presents Joe as the default normal and the other characters falling outside of it. They are Arabian Joe, Trader Jose, and Trader Joe-san. So they're in the middle. They're in the process of rebranding.
I pray this isn't a dude. Is this young person a dude?
Briones Bedell.
Briones.
Anybody's guess. Hold on.
Briones Bedell. Bay Area.
That's a UFC fighter.
I know.
I love that guy.
Or
guy kicks ass.
Weak side tackle on the Ravens. No one's got the blind side like Briones. Jesus.
I wanted to confirm the age, so I looked at a couple different articles, and I'm looking right now, but there's no picture of this
Probably
person.
because he's a minor. They're
17, yeah.
I hope it's a boy, and I hope it's a boy so that we can force him to mate with Greta Thunberg to have the most obnoxious human being on the planet. They'll give birth to the most obnoxious 5-year-old that was ever fucking born.
Precocious.
Oh, god damn. It's just fucking Trader Joe's. They wear like Hawaiian shirts. They're kind of fun. Oh, it's a chick. It's a fucking.
There you go.
It's
She looks like a Kristen Bell type.
Yeah.
She looks just like very perky, blonde, almost that Tracy Flick in election quality.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the problem. The problem is everyone is listening to young people, which I told people to stop doing a long time ago, but they thought they were the future and whatever. Like, if Briones Bedell says, hey, you know what? I find Trader Joe's, some of the product names to be problematic. The answer shouldn't be, let me get my steno pad, tell me all about it. The answer should be, go back to worrying about the prom, bitch. That should be the answer. Let the adults handle the fucking naming of products at their own stores. Jesus goddamn Christ. All right. It's all your fault for listening to young people and deciding they are the future. They don't know shit. And by the way, when I was 17, nobody should ever listen to me about anything. I didn't know shit either. I wasn't all fucking full of myself like everyone is now. All right. Let's bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad. That was the news with Gina Grad.